spring has sprung in Colorado. Oh my gosh, I have been out in the garden, and one of the reasons I find I don't go out into the garden that much is because once I get out there, I cannot stop. It's just never ending. So, Memorial Day was quite a beautiful one. I hope it was for you also. And thanks to all the amazing vets out there for your service. A day late, but here I am at Pure Joy Parenting and Leslie Potter. And this week, let's talk about summer coming and kids out of school. I know this is always a bit of a challenging one, or at least it was for me, because I was getting my daughter in camps. I was a working mom, and so I was a single mom and needed her to be in camps. And it felt like I was constantly trying to create something for her summers. And it really made me nostalgic for my own summers growing up. Now, I don't know about you, but when I grew up in Mississippi, and we had pretty free summers. I did go to summer camp. We'd go for like 2 weeks. It was sleepover camp. But otherwise, we were just hanging out, going to the pool, riding our bikes in the neighborhood. And I was very nostalgic for that time, because it was so blessed to be free, open. We could just do whatever. Of course, we didn't have cell phones back then, and so we weren't in contact with mama or daddy. We would just take off for the day and go and hang out, and our parents had some sense of trust that we were okay. And now today, it's quite different, as we all know. Most kids starting around the age of 12 have cell phones, and we're tracking them, and we're knowing where they are all the time. And for me, that created a lot more anxiety, always being in touch with my daughter, because then when I wasn't in touch with her, let's say she had her phone off or was doing something and I couldn't reach her, then I kind of panicked. It was so funny how I got used to it when I hadn't had it, right, before. So if you are heading into your summer, I'm going to give you a little practice to do. Now, the practice is to see if you can relax a little bit around all the structure that maybe you feel you need to create for your kids. Maybe you do if you're working or don't have a way for them to have that freedom. But in my experience, summer was a crazy time to hang out with friends. We were bored out of our minds many times, but we also, out of that boredom, created shows in our neighborhood. I was the director. I wrote the music. We performed. We had all kinds of doll shows. We had all kinds of things we created within that boredom. And of course, we were able to hang out together. And I know that's a little bit hard sometimes, and neighborhoods aren't quite like they were. And that's one of the reasons I moved to co-housing when my daughter was 8. They had a group of kids, and they would go out, and they would be gone all day too, but we always knew they were with someone. So if you're feeling a little nostalgic for your time of summer, knowing that your kids are more structured and there's a little bit more protection and things going on these days, see if you can maybe find some time, maybe decide, maybe it's 1 day a week, or maybe it's on the weekend, when things are just how they are, right? No structure, just hanging out, just everybody gets to do what they want to do, when they want to do it. I mean, this is a great time to do it on the weekends. Everybody lives to their highest values. They choose what brings them pleasure, you included, and joy. And see what it's like to just have that summer freedom, right? Because that to me is what summer's all about, is that freedom, is that relaxation. I mean, I can feel it with the spring here. I mean, I'm cleaning out my closet. I did my yard all weekend. It's like a new energy comes up, and it's filled with creativity. So heading into the summer here, I know a lot of you are getting out of school. The kids will be done probably the end of this week or next. Just see if you're willing to bring some consciousness to at least having maybe 1 day, maybe 2, if you have to do it on the weekend, if you're working, where you just chill out and everybody gets to just hang out and just be in the summer. All right. Have a wonderful week this week, and I will see you next week on Parenting Paused.